CRPS RSD is a damaging of your sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is the nervous system that controls anything and everything that you feel, smell, see. It's basically every sense is controlled by this system in your body. So when you get CRPS RSD, you have to have some sort of trauma to trigger it. You either have to have a horrible car crash or break a bone, or it can even have as simple as a paper cut, and it could send you into RSD. It all depends on your body and how much your body overreacts to things. So in my sense, I've had medical issues my whole life, so it's been allergies and migraines and just a lot of immunity issues. So when RSD came into my life, I was in high stress. I was in college. I was a nurse. I was getting my blood pressure taken 160 times a day because I was the dummy for the class because I was the youngest. So I was in high stress. And when you're in high stress, your nervous system is overloaded. And when they gave me the flu shot, this nurse, who was a trainee and had just started in the field, put it in the wrong part of my arm. Instead, she shot it into my nerve instead of my muscles. When she shot it into my arm, it felt, the most I can explain to it is that she stuck a burning cigarette into my arm. And the days leading after that was like you drenched my arm in gasoline and lit it on fire. Is most depiction that I can give you without getting into gory things, of course. When she did that, I honestly never will be able to explain the feeling. But after a couple days, I went back to school the next day, of course, not thinking anything of it. People told me it was normal. You get sick after a flu shot. Oh well, I mean, it was the first one I've ever had in my life because I was a homeschool individual. So the days leading after that, every day, I slowly lost use of my arm itself. When I went to my first doctor, I could not use my arm at all. It was in a sling, it was dead, it was cold, it was blue, there was nothing there. His stimulation of the nervous system treatment got me what my use is of today, which is not much. But when I got the use of it back, it was like, okay, I started losing bone mass in it. I started losing, went down 3 sizes in my ring sizes. You realize you're losing muscle, you're losing bone mass, you're losing skin is getting very shiny and very like paper-like and kind of see-through-ish looking, because you can see when you're cold or the fire and ice is acting up, that you see through your skin almost. Like you can see how irritated the inside of your system is. It's very freaky looking sometimes. So when you turn these colors, it'll alternate between fire and ice. So if it's really hot outside and it's like humidity, the barometric pressure of the air, it all plays into it. So you will either swell and have ice, and you will then go into fire, and you can even feel the limb, how cold or how hot it is. Like last night after my seizure, my mom felt me to pick me up off the floor, and she's like, "You are cold as ice." She's like, "Your arms, your legs, your face, everything was just cold." And then other days it'll be swollen purple and red, and it'll be fire. What makes it happen is that every nerve in your system has been damaged, because it does spread. So once you damage one nerve, it's gonna hop to each nerve next to it. So it went from my arm to my chest into my heart, and then it moved slowly into my legs and my feet, and slowly just my face, and went everywhere. Doctors honestly don't know what changes the temperature, because most that they can tell you is that it's just attacking every system of your body. Even your sweating, your cooling down, it doesn't regulate it like it should. So when your body is basically killing itself, so it's attacking against itself and making it go out of whack completely. So when you feel the fire and the ice, you feel it 24/7. It just depends on the amplification of it, how intense it gets. So it never stops. It's never stopped since the day that needle was stuck in my arm. So ice part kind of gets me confused sometimes, because you literally will feel like you have stuck your arm in like a frozen lake or something like that, but you look at your arm and it's just laying on a pillow, like under a blanket, and it's just on fire, it's on ice. Like, it's very confusing sometimes, because nerves, when they're out of whack, they will send the wrong signals. So when you're hot, you'll be cold. You'll have ice when you're sweating to death. You turn into, honestly, the weirdest feeling you'll ever feel in your life, because what you should be feeling, you don't, and what you feel should not be there, because it's the opposite of what it should be. You never would believe that you could be in so much pain but look so much normal. Like, you walk around, yeah, you're supposed to have a cane, but oh well. Because people in this world don't accept people with mobility issues, mobility devices. They don't. So we go without them, because it's like, oh, you can walk without it. Why do you need it? People that can't walk use those types of things, but we essentially can't walk normally, because if we do, our bodies overreact. Our nervous system says, hey, I can't go any farther, and sometimes you'll either have a seizure, you'll fall on the floor. You'll pay for it later because you didn't take the weight and stress off that limb by using your mobility aid. But we put ourselves through more because of what people put us through, because they don't accept that, hey, you can be disabled but look normal.
The fire and ice sensation, is that felt inside, internally?
Yes.
With like your organs?
Yes.
Do you ever feel like your organs
Yes, you will feel in your stomach, you will feel like it's on, your insides are on fire. Like, you have a burning in your chest, in your gut, and then sometimes you will feel so cold that when you drink something warm and you have the ice sensation inside of your stomach or your heart or something, it will feel tingle. When you drink something warm, or when it's on fire, you drink something cold, it'll react to that temperature, because the internal temperature is messed up, because your nervous system is messed up. Our systems are being attacked, so it's taking away the muscle mass and the bone mass. So basically we deteriorate.
Obviously it didn't deteriorate your eyelashes.
No, that's one good thing it doesn't do. It does.
Eyelashes for days.
It does. You can have severe hair loss, and sometimes you have severe hair growth. So I was blessed to have hair growth instead of hair loss, because I would have been devastated if I would have lost my hair with everything as well. So yeah. That would have been very devastating to me.